Lifting belt. Lifting belt does not hold your back together. Its real job is to give your core something to brace against. When you breathe into your stomach and tighten properly, the belt helps create more pressure through your torso, which makes heavy lifts feel more stable. That is why belts matter most on big lifts like squats and deadlifts, but they only help if you already know how to brace. If not, it just becomes a piece of gear you are wearing for no reason. Lifting straps. Lifting straps help when your grip fails before the muscle you are trying to train. That happens a lot on rows, shrugs, pull downs, and heavy hinge movements. Straps let your hands do less, so your back can do more. That is their whole purpose. The downside is simple. If you use straps on every pulling exercise, your grip develops less. So they are useful when bypassing grip is the point, but not something you should rely on for everything. Wrist wraps are made to stiffen the wrist under heavy pressing. On lifts like bench press or overhead press, the wrist can bend back too much under load. Wraps help keep the joint more stable so the hand stays stacked better under the weight. That usually makes the press feel stronger and more controlled. They are useful for heavy pressing, but they are not a solution for wrist pain in general. They are a tool, not a fix. Knee sleeves are mostly about warmth, compression, and making the joint feel better during training. They do not magically support the knee or fix bad mechanics. What they really do is make squats and leg work feel more comfortable, especially when the loads get heavy. That is why so many lifters wear them. They help with feel, not with technique. If you train legs hard and often, sleeves can be useful, but they are there to improve comfort, not replace proper lifting. Chalk. Chalk does not increase your grip strength. It improves your grip by keeping your hands dry. Sweat makes the bar more slippery, and chalk helps bring friction back. That is why it works so well for deadlifts, pull-ups, rows, and other pulling lifts. You do not need a huge amount either. A small layer is enough. If your gym allows it, chalk is one of the simplest and most effective accessories you can use. Lifting gloves are mostly about comfort. They protect the hands, reduce friction, and help some people avoid calluses. That is why beginners often like them. The downside is that gloves reduce direct contact with the bar, which means less grip feel. For casual training, that usually does not matter much. But for serious heavy lifting, it often does. Gloves are not useless. They are just more about comfort than performance. Dip belt. Dip belt lets you add weight to bodyweight exercises like dips, pull-ups, and chin-ups. That matters because once you can do a lot of reps with body weight alone, the movement stops being hard enough to keep building strength the same way. A dip belt solves that by letting you overload those exercises just like any other lift. If you want weighted pull-ups or weighted dips to become real long-term strength builders, a dip belt becomes very useful. Barbell pad. Barbell pad makes sense on some lifts and makes less sense on others. For hip thrusts, it is useful because the bar presses directly into the hips, and that can get uncomfortable fast. The pad helps without changing the movement much. For squats, though, it can make the bar feel less stable on your back. That is why many lifters use it for hip thrusts, but skip it for squats. It depends on the exercise. Training shoes matter more than most people think. Soft running shoes compress under heavy weight, which makes lifting feel less stable. Flat shoes are better for most gym work because they keep you solid and close to the ground. Weightlifting shoes are different because they have a raised hard heel, which can help on squats and Olympic lifts. Different shoes help different lifts. In the gym, footwear changes more than just how you look. Resistance bands are one of the most versatile gym accessories because they can help with warm-ups, assistance work, mobility, and added resistance. They can make pull-ups easier, increase tension on lifts, or help activate muscles before training. The important thing is that bands change how resistance feels. The more they stretch, the harder the movement becomes. That makes them useful, but also different from normal free weights. Cable cuffs attach the cable directly to the limb you want to train. That helps reduce grip and other weak links so the target muscle does more of the work. Ankle cuffs are common for glutes and legs. Wrist and forearm cuffs are often used for shoulders, arms, or back work. People like them because they make isolation work feel cleaner. If other body parts keep taking over your cable exercises, cuffs can help fix that. So now the real question is, which gym accessory do you actually use the most? Because a lot of people buy gym gear without really knowing what it is supposed to do. Some accessories are useful, some are overrated, and some only make sense for specific lifts. So drop it in the comments. Which one do you use the most? And which one do you think people misuse the most?